Hey, what's up guys? Back again with another video. So today we're going to take a look at the HyperKin retro style mouse for the Super Nintendo. The Super NES mouse is a peripheral created by Nintendo for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. It was first released in Japan in 1992. The mouse was bundled and most famous for use with Mario Paint, a very innovative paint program that was quite popular, especially amongst children. I never bothered with the mouse or Mario Paint as I had my Amiga and Deluxe Paint, and that was more than sufficient for my needs. So when HyperKin released the retro-style mouse for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System a few weeks ago, it poses some interesting questions. For one, checking eBay, you can easily find lots and lots of original Super NES mice for cheap, like $20 cheap, which incidentally is exactly the same recommended retail price as the HyperKin mouse. So why actually release a mouse? I mean, isn't the only game that supports the mouse Mario Paint? Well, we're about to find out, and as always on this channel, we are going to put this mouse through its paces and see what it can do. The HyperKin mouse is an optical mouse that comes with a 6-foot long connector and a standard Super NES or Famicom controller connector. At first glance, it's a little bigger than the original Super Nintendo mouse. The weight of the mouse feels good, and the plastic doesn't feel cheap in any way. This looks like a nice solid design, and I'm very curious to see how well it performs. The mouse buttons have a satisfying click to them, and for $20 this seems like a good purchase. Compared to the Super NES controller, you can see the size difference. It's also a nice touch that the mouse buttons color match that of the controller as well. So when I tried connecting the mouse to the console, I knew I had a problem. You can see how hard I had to force the mouse connector to plug it in. Now compared to original hardware, which always has a satisfying click, this wasn't right at all. Now on closer inspection, I found that the circular connector holes used on the HyperKin are not the right size compared to a stock connector, and this is the root cause of the problem. I don't know if all HyperKin mice have this problem, but immediately I felt that this is something that should never have happened. I can only imagine the wear and tear on the mouse or the console after many years of plugging and unplugging this. Connector issues aside, this mouse works great. I tried Mario Paint and the mouse feels natural and responds well with seemingly no input lag. Now, a lot of people think Mario Paint is the only game that the Super Nintendo mouse actually supported. So why would HyperKin actually release a mouse clone or an updated mouse in 2017? Well, that's actually not the case. There's actually around 65 games supported by the Super Nintendo and Super Famicom that have mouse support. So that actually makes the HyperKin mouse a lot more attractive and a lot more appealing, especially in 2017 if you're a retro buff. And I think the best way to enjoy something like this in 2017 is with a Super EverDrive or an EverDrive type solution for your Super Nintendo. That way you can play the pick of the games that have mouse support without having to actually locate the original games. Tin Star by Software Creations is a shooting game on rails set in the Old West. It supports both the SNES mouse and Super Scope. It's a fun game. I love the colorful graphics and the music is great. The mouse support works very well. Amiga fans and those people in Europe will recognize this classic. Cannon Fodder for the Super NES is a great port of the game, and even better with a mouse. In my opinion, the only way to play this game. Operation Thunderbolt by Taito is the sequel to Operation Wolf. This port is very good with unique features to the Super NES version, including the option to pick from many different characters. The HyperKin mouse feels great here, and this is a very playable game. Lemmings 2 by DMA Design and Psygnosis kinda slipped under the radar on the Super NES. The game is hardly talked about, but it's here and supports the mouse, and it's great. One small difference between this and the Amiga version is that the action stops when you are scrolling the screen. I guess it's because it's assumed that you are playing with a controller. In any case, how cool is it to play Lemmings 2 on a Super Nintendo with a dedicated mouse? What a great game. Arkanoid 2 by Taito on the Super NES is probably the best port going around, and it supports the Super NES mouse, which immediately escalates this to legendary status. I absolutely love this game. I've played it on so many different systems, and this is definitely my pick of the bunch. Did you guys even know that Civilization was ported to the Super NES? Well, it's here and it's great. And it supports the mouse. What a classic game. I love this port. It's very, very well done. King Arthur's World is a side-scrolling strategy game that supports the Super NES mouse. The aim of each level is to proceed from the tent to the finishing point, just like in Lemmings. This is an underrated game with great graphics and music. Mario & Wario is a puzzle game that also supports the mouse. This game was only released in Japan and requires the mouse to play. It's a simple game where you need to guide Mario to the goal and avoid the obstacles and traps. There's 100 levels in total and it's so much fun to play. This could be my favorite game for the Super NES mouse. Pieces is a puzzle game where you attempt to solve a jigsaw puzzle faster than your opponent or the computer. It's super addictive and there's all sorts of power-ups and items that you can use to foil your opponent's progress. This game is so addictive and fun to play, and it's a must for anyone who has a Super NES mouse. T2, the arcade game, is a port of the arcade original from Probe Software. I included this as it's ridiculously hard with the controller and plays much better with the mouse. This is a mindless shooter that's fun to play and very, very challenging. Check it out. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed this video of the HyperKin Retro Mouse for the Super NES. Let me know what you thought about in the comments below. And if there was a game that I did forget to mention in this video or I don't know about, please leave a comment below. I'll definitely like to check it out. I'm having a lot of fun playing around with the mouse on the Super Nintendo console. As always guys, if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave me a thumbs up and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye for now. Now the HyperKin mouse has the optical ball. Now the HyperKin mouse has the 6-foot cable. Nice. Now the